He spent 40 years cleaning university hallways, but no one knew he was quietly building someone else's future. Every great university has famous professors. Every famous university has brilliant students, but sometimes the greatest lesson comes from the person no one notices. Arthur Bennett had worked as a janitor at one of Britain's oldest universities for nearly 40 years. Every morning before sunrise, he unlocked doors, swept silent corridors, polished wooden floors, and emptied bins before thousands of students arrived. Most students walked past him without looking. Some nodded politely. Many never even learned his name. Arthur never complained. He simply smiled and wished everyone a good morning, because he believed kindness never needed an audience. Among the thousands of students was a 19-year-old young man named Ethan Carter. Bright, hardworking, polite. Unlike many others, Ethan always greeted Arthur. "Good morning, Mr. Bennett." Those 4 simple words meant more to Arthur than Ethan could ever imagine. Weeks became months. Arthur noticed something different. While other students laughed in cafes after class, Ethan rushed to part-time jobs every evening. He skipped expensive meals. His shoes slowly wore out. His backpack became older every semester. Yet, he never stopped smiling. One rainy evening, Arthur found Ethan sitting alone on a staircase after everyone had left. His eyes were red, not from rain, from tears. Arthur quietly sat beside him. "Everything all right, son?" Ethan forced a smile. "I'm fine." Arthur had lived long enough to recognize the sound of someone pretending to be okay. After a long silence, Ethan finally spoke. "My father passed away last year. My mother works 2 jobs. I've lost my scholarship. If I can't pay next month's tuition, I'll have to leave university." Arthur said nothing. He simply listened. Sometimes, listening is the greatest gift. That night, Arthur went home to his tiny apartment. He opened an old wooden box hidden beneath his bed. Inside were decades of savings, money he had planned to use for his retirement. He stared at it for a long time, then he quietly smiled. The next morning, Arthur visited the university finance office. He made only one request. "I'd like to pay one student's tuition, but please don't tell him who paid." The administrator looked surprised. "Mr. Bennett, are you sure?" Arthur nodded. "Some investments don't belong in banks. They belong in people." The payment was made anonymously. Days later, Ethan received an email. His tuition had been fully paid. No name, no explanation, only the words, "Anonymous Educational Support." Ethan searched everywhere. He asked professors, friends, administrators. No one knew. Arthur continued, pushing his cleaning cart every morning, as if nothing had happened. Years passed. Ethan graduated with honors. He earned a scholarship abroad, started a technology company, worked day and night, failed, started again, failed again. Eventually, his company became one of Britain's fastest-growing businesses. Magazines called him a genius. Investors admired him. Millions knew his name. But Ethan never forgot the anonymous stranger who changed his life. Every year, he donated scholarships to struggling students, always anonymously, because that was the only example he had ever known. One autumn morning, nearly 20 years later, a long black luxury car stopped outside the university. A successful businessman stepped out. It was Ethan. He walked through the same old corridors. Everything looked smaller, except one memory. He asked an employee, "Is Mr. Arthur Bennett still here?" The young receptionist smiled sadly. "He's retiring today." Ethan hurried toward the old hallway. There stood Arthur, older, slower, his hair completely white, still holding the same mop, still smiling. Ethan walked closer. Arthur looked up. "I'm sorry. Have we met?" Ethan's eyes filled with tears. "You paid for my education." Arthur looked confused. "I don't think so." The finance office had protected his identity for decades. Ethan quietly showed him an old letter. The administrator had finally revealed the truth after Arthur announced his retirement. Arthur read the letter, then softly laughed. "Oh, so you found out?" Ethan couldn't hold back anymore. He hugged the old janitor. For several seconds, neither of them spoke, because gratitude rarely needs words. Then Ethan handed Arthur a small envelope. Inside was the deed to a beautiful countryside home. "I wanted to give you the retirement you gave me." Arthur shook his head. "I didn't help you for this." Ethan smiled. "I know. That's exactly why you deserve it." News of the reunions across Britain. People celebrated Ethan's success, but everyone remembered one name, Arthur Bennett, the janitor who never stood in front of a classroom, yet changed countless lives forever. Because sometimes the greatest teachers never carry a title. They simply carry kindness. Moral true generosity is helping others without expecting recognition. One quiet act of kindness can transform not just one life, but generations to come.